lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, namaste, guten morgen, and good morning. Welcome back to the final session of this. So, not final, is no beginning or end of this. Just as you have no beginning and end, this teaching also has no beginning and no end. We have just dipped our toe into this vast ocean. But in essence, we have got the teaching. It's the same teaching. Throughout the book, it's the same teaching. Let us just chant the verses which we did, which covers the entire range of the teaching, and then we will go ahead. 4th verse, 15th chapter, 4th verse. Natvam deho nate deho. Natvam deho nate deho. Bhokta karta nava bhavan. Bhokta karta nava bhavan. Chidruposi sada sakshi. Chidruposi sada sakshi. Nirapeksha sukham chara. Nirapeksha sukham chara. Ragadvesho mano dharmo. Ragadvesho mano dharmo. Namanaste kadachana. Namanaste kadachana. Nirvikalposi bodhatma. Nirvikalposi bodhatma. Nirvikara sukham chara. Nirvikara sukham chara. Sarvabhuteshu chatmanam. Sarvabhuteshu chatmanam. Sarvabhutani chatmani. Sarvabhutani chatmani. Vijnaya nirahankara. Vijnaya nirahankaro. Nirmamastvam sukhi bhava. Tvam sukhi bhava. Vishwam spurati yatredam. Vishwam spurati yatredam. Taranga iva sagare. Taranga iva sagare. Tattvam eva na sandeha. Tattvam eva na sandeha. Chinmurte vijwaro bhava. Chinmurte vijwaro bhava. And the 11th verse also. Tvayananta maham bodho. Tvayananta maham bodho. Vishwavichi swabhavatah. Vishwavichi swabhavatah. Udetu vastamayatu. Udetu vastamayatu. Nate vriddhi na vakshatihi. Nate vriddhi na vakshatihi. So this is the entire teaching of Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta is very elegant. It can be summarized. The entire vast literature can be summarized in one sentence. It's attributed to Shankaracharya. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Brahman alone is real. The world is an appearance. And the Jiva, the sentient being, you, I, we are none other than Brahman. That's the entirety of the teaching. It can be further compressed into the short sentences called the Mahavakyas. And they're called great sentences, but they're actually very short. And they're great in the sense of Arthato Gambhira, but they're very profound as far as meaning is concerned. Tattvamasi, you are that. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. I am Atma Brahma, this very self is Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. All of these sentences mean the same thing. They have the same meaning. It can be compressed even further. Om. That's it. If you unpack Om, you will get the Mandukya Upanishad. Unpack it further, you'll get the Mandukya Karika, 4 chapters. Unpack it further, you'll get the entire non-dual Vedantic literature. It can be compacted even further. Silence. Maunam Vyakhyanam. Silence is the teaching. Now, if I'd kept silence, you would have... there's a saying that the first time I ask you and you keep silent, I will think that maybe you are shy. Second time I ask you and you keep silent, I will think that maybe you are very profound. Third time I ask you and you keep silent, I'll think you don't know anything. So you have to explain. Now, what is the teaching? How has it been explained here? First, start with yourself, and it says, you are not the body. The body is there, it's not denying anything. We are experiencing the body. As I said, it could be a Hollywood thing, it could be a Broadway thing. It could be a material universe actually existing apart from consciousness, or it could be an appearance within consciousness, like a movie or a theatrical play. But in either case, you are the witness. You are not part of it. You are not the body. The body is not yours also. We discussed all this yesterday. And if we do not identify with the body, or as the Upanishads put it, Shankara says, when you rise from identification from the body. Plotinus, the great philosopher, he says, the real awakening is not bodily awakening, but awakening from the body. This is awakening from the body. This is rising up from the body. How do you rise up from the body? Not as a ghost coming out of the... No, as seeing that I am not this thing, I am also not this thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Object. And we know all the arguments, we went through them. Chetana, Jada, conscious, not conscious, Drashta, Drishya, seer and seen, Nirvikara, Savikara, unchanging, changing. We went through these arguments, and many more arguments are possible. Then what am I? I am Chidruposi, you are consciousness itself. Not that, everybody agrees I am conscious. No, not like that. I am consciousness only. I am consciousness only. Try this here. This is called our waking state. Do you remember the story I mentioned about Swami Nishreyashanandaji, the Howrah station and the train which comes, then there's a goods train and then there's an empty platform, and compared it to waking, dreaming, sleeping. Let's try it for ourselves. Here, this is the waking state. Here is the body with my eyes and ears and other sense organs. I am contacting apparently an external world. And this is my life. This is reality for me. This is called waking state. Now gently, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Imagine you are not seeing anything. You are hearing my voice. Continue to hear my voice. But suppose you do not see, hear, smell, taste, touch, anything. Just internally, we have thoughts, we have feelings, we have memories. That is the subtle world, equivalent to the world of dreams. No external world, not even the body. Now suppose that also stops. I do not see, hear, smell, taste, touch anything. Internally, I do not think of anything. I do not remember anything. I do not feel anything. I do not desire or hate anything. Completely blank. Even the sense that I am there, that is also blanked out. Just blank. That is equivalent to what is called the causal world, Sushupti, deep sleep state. And notice, this causal world is appearing to you, the consciousness. That blankness is also an experience. And when thoughts, feelings and sensations come back, that's also an experience to the same consciousness. And now gently open your eyes. And as we look back upon this world, this is also an experience to that same consciousness. That consciousness is that station master, Swami Sarvapriyananda says, who sees what is the train? Rajdhani train coming in, then the goods train coming in, then the empty platform. Station master. This one consciousness. I am that. That one is neither the doer nor the sufferer of the results of karma. It is the witness. It is not witnessing. He says, Sada Sakshi, always the witness, never the witnessed. It's not witnessing. Witnessing is an act, is a practice. Suppose I witness, I observe the breath, in breath and out breath. Meditation, mindfulness. But it's a practice. If you stop doing it, it's gone. But this witness, consciousness, the Sakshi, the witness consciousness, is effortlessly the witness. It cannot be anything else. It does not depend on our practice. That's why it says, Sada Sakshi. Always. Nirapeksha Sukham Chara. The same thing applies to the mind. Remember the principle that the properties belong to the substance. The properties belong to the object. The tablecloth, the color is yellow, the yellow belongs to the tablecloth. By seeing the yellow tablecloth, I don't become yellow. Similarly, seeing the depressed mind, the desirous mind, the greedy mind, the angry mind, the restless mind, I don't become restless, greedy, desirous or depressed. I am the witness of that. That greed or desire or restlessness is a property of the mind and it stays there, just as the yellow color stays here, even when it is known. When a consciousness is aware of the yellow color, through the eyes and everything, consciousness doesn't become yellow. Similarly, awareness only. I am awareness only. I do not become colored by the emotions of the mind, by the limitations of the mind, by the excitement of the mind, by the depression of the mind, by the boredom of the mind, by the waking, dreaming and sleeping of the mind. I am the witness. I am the sun that shines all the time. Then, next, it is one consciousness in all minds and bodies. Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam. It's not that I am like a flicker of a flame, like a glimmering light. Great German philosopher, he said, Leibniz, it's a biscuit now. But he is famous. He said, the stars in the sky, that we are like these stars in the sky, ever isolated from each other. His theory of the monad. Those who have studied philosophy, one consciousness flickering, ever separated from everybody else. We are like that, all separate, like stars shining in the night sky. Each one a dot of light. But no, we are one mass of light, Vedanta says. And shining through many, many bodies and minds. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Undivided in all beings, appearing as if divided. As if divided, as if 100 of us, as if 1 billion of us, but really one. We are all one. It's just some rhetoric of universal humanity or brotherhood or sisterhood of humanity. No, it's actually a fact. It's even more close than brotherhood or sisterhood. We are literally one entity. We are one being. So, Sarva Bhuteshu Chatman, the self in all beings. And think a little further. All beings in the self. Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. Remember those three? The universe appears to you, the awareness. It appears in you, the awareness. And it is nothing but you, the awareness. So, it is appearing in you. This is worth considering. These are all very big jumps. All of this in philosophy there have been huge philosophical battles over the centuries. Some accept it, some don't. So Vedanta very dramatically and boldly goes ahead and says we are all one being. But then what is the relationship of the one and the many? What is the relationship of this world of diversity, this world of matter, time, energy, bodies, senses, happenings, action, change, history, to that one being? And the answer is, the universe is not different from that one being. The many are not separate from that one. That one alone is appearing as the many. They're exactly one and the same. The universe appears in you, the Absolute. It appears in Brahman as waves appear in the ocean. The waves are not different from the ocean. It is the ocean. It is the ocean. Three things: wave, ocean, water. Wave is like us, individual beings. Ocean is the equivalent of God of religions, the totality, the cosmos. Certainly, the ocean is far greater than the wave, and the wave is included in the ocean. But even greater than the ocean, greater than the wave, greater than the ocean, is water. You say, why? Because the wave is nothing but water. The ocean is nothing but water. The existence of the wave depends on the water. The existence of the ocean depends on the water. But the water doesn't depend on the ocean. Water can be water vapor. Water can be water in this glass of water. It doesn't have to be in the ocean. So, water is the reality of the ocean and of the wave. Exactly like that, we sentient beings and the God of the cosmos, the reality of both is this one pure consciousness, one awareness, one consciousness. So that's why he says, the universe appears in this ocean, like waves in an ocean. What are you? You are the ocean, or even more precisely, you are the water which constitutes the ocean and the waves. You are that Tattvameva Chinmurti, O pure consciousness, O awareness itself, light itself. You are that light. What is this universe? We first, as if we made a distinction, the light and the object. That which illumines and that which is illumined. Now we are not making the distinction anymore. We have withdrawn that. Those are examples. We have withdrawn that. This universe is nothing but light shining. It is nothing but you shining. You are shining forth as this little person and as the cosmos. What are you made of? Light itself, not this physical light, consciousness itself, awareness itself. This is the teaching so far. Now what I'll do now is do one more verse, 8th verse, which sums it, pulls it all together, whatever has been done, and gives us a hint as to further practice. How do we realize this, making it a living reality in our lives? And then I will meditate a little bit. Meditate means contemplate. We will contemplate a little bit on the title given by Revered Maharaj to this retreat. Seamless meditation, the art of seamless meditation. What is this seamless meditation and how? Why is it important? How to do it? And then I'll stop and you can ask questions. Okay. Verse number 8. Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva, shraddhasva tata shraddhasva, natra moham kurushva bho, natra moham kurushva bho, jnana swarupo bhagavan, jnana swarupo bhagavan, atma tvam prakrite paraha, atma Tvam prakrite paraha. Have faith, my son, have faith. Never confuse yourself in this. You are knowledge itself, you are the Lord, you are the self, and you are beyond nature. See, in Ashtavakra, almost every word, every phrase has to be unpacked. It's almost like the entirety of the Vedantic teaching has been packed into it. We are talking this morning with Maharaj, that you can unpack. You can go on unpacking this. You'll see. First of all, he gives us some solid advice. Suppose all this appears too difficult. Either I don't get it, or I get it but I find it difficult to practice, or I find that it is not applicable in my life, or some problem is there with it. I don't feel that I am enlightened. And so Ashtavakra says, don't worry. Do one thing, one simple thing. Just believe it. You say, oh, again that belief. I thought I had left it all behind. I've come to non-duality. And not all that God, belief and worship and all. I've come to non-duality. Again you are telling me to believe. There's a story I heard in Vrindavan, which is the place of Krishna, of Sri Krishna. Now there was a monk who belonged to the school, devotional school of Vedanta, and he was very devoted to Sri Krishna. After several years, he decided to change tracks and come to non-dual Vedanta. So he came to this master, from whom we heard this story. He came to this master who was teaching non-dual Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, this stuff. And he says, the preliminary qualifications before you start. You remember? Viveka, Vairagya, the sixfold treasures, and then Mumukshutvam, intense desire to be free. And we are studying the sixfold treasures. Those are the disciplines which we must do. Shamaha, quietness of mind. Damaha, control of the senses. Then Uparati, withdrawal from too much involvement from the world. And then Samadhana, focus. Titiksha, a spiritual toughness, fortitude, putting up with all sorts of troubles to continue on your spiritual path undeterred. And then he said Shraddha, faith in what the teacher and the texts are saying. Then this monk said, wait a minute. In Hindi, I'll tell you what he said in Hindi. Arey mere Giridhar Gopal kya dosh kiye the? What fault does my beloved Krishna, Gopala have? There also we were told, have faith, believe in Krishna, believe in... Now again the same thing has come here. You're again saying faith. No, but faith has a great power. Here it's not that this book says so, you have to believe it and that's it. No, you will see for yourself. We will see for ourselves, no doubt about it. But a powerful aid until then, if my intellect says I don't get it, or if my whole being says that, yeah, it's all right, but I don't feel it to be true right now, then in that case, do one thing. Just believe it to be true. We believe so many things. We believe a lot of nonsense. Whole advertising industry standing on that. So we believe a lot of nonsense about the world. Why not this simple thing? Ashtavakra is telling us, the Upanishads are telling us, the great mystics and masters, there are non-dual traditions not only in Hinduism, but in Judaism, in Christianity, in Islam, in Buddhism, in every spiritual tradition. Aldous Huxley in that book, Perennial Philosophy, he says about this non-duality, that identity of the individual and the cosmic, the absolute. He says, it is presented to us as if it's a development of thought, from dualism to non-dualism, from ritualism to spirituality. If you see the Vedas, they're like a development of thought, like that. Upanishads come at the end. But he says something very interesting, and I agree with him. He says, I am quite convinced that this truth, the core truth, you are that. This was there even in the Stone Age. This was there with the most primitive civilizations long before our civilization came. It has always been there with humanity. Maybe they did not have your fancy philosophy and all that, but the core spiritual realities, they have always been spiritually enlightened masters in every civilization and every age of humanity. Every time, always there have been. So believe in it. They are telling us this is true, and we will see for ourselves. So until we do, Shraddhasvatata Shraddhasva, my child, Have faith in this. Have faith in this. Just take it to be true. Take it to be true and live like that. Your realization, your enlightenment will come much faster. Very soon you will not have to take it for granted. You will know for a fact that it is true. It's not a question of belief anymore. You will see it is true. Until that time, to speed up progress, to take care of the problems and doubts and all that, just believe in it. Yes, I have believed in so much nonsense in my life. Let me believe in something good for a change. And take it on. Yes, take it on authority. Ashtavakra says so, Upanishad says so, Vivekananda says so, and great masters throughout history have said so. You are that. And then try to live accordingly. The Americans have a saying, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. There was a popular book, I Am That, Nisargadatta Maharaj, who lived in Bombay. And he was an enlightened master, especially he taught this kind of non-dual philosophy. He originally taught in Marathi, later it was translated into English and other languages and published. But somebody asked him, how did you become enlightened? He said, my guru told me that you are Brahman. I believed him. And I tried to live accordingly. See, that's not an easy thing at all. So much struggle is necessary. Because our whole tendency is to go back to our old limited self. He said, do not be confused on this. Moham, matra moham kurushva. Oh my child, do not be confused on this point. Do not be deluded on this point. Do not be shaken on this point. Even if the world appears, it appears to me I am this body and the world is separate from me. The fact is you are one. In the dream, suppose, in our dreams, we don't know we are dreaming. Somebody comes and tells us, this is not real. It's a dream and you are the dreamer. This whole thing is appearing in you, the dreamer. We'll think, what nonsense is he speaking? But when we wake up, who will be right? He or I? It seems to me that I am in a world separate from me. But when I wake up, I'll realize the entire world and the dreamer, that the person in the dream, they're all part of the mind of the dreamer. I was dreaming the whole thing. So even now, if it seems that it's a world of duality, plurality, separation, a material world in which, yes, there is mind and consciousness, but that's just a little thing. No. The fact is, and we will realize that fact soon enough, is that consciousness is foundational. And the whole universe, the experience of the universe is an experience. Experience means consciousness. I remember, I've quoted this often, Wittgenstein was a great philosopher. And he was here in Austria, in Vienna. He was initially a brilliant man. Initially, he thought he wanted to become an engineer. Then, at that time, aeroplanes had just been invented, so he wanted to become he said aeronaut, pilot or engineer making aeroplanes. Then he thought, but this requires engineering knowledge. And then he went to that and he realized engineering requires mathematics. And he thought, I should become a mathematician. Then he realized behind mathematics is, what is a number? Philosophy. So he thought, maybe I'm a philosopher, I should be a philosopher. And he found out who is the leading philosopher in this philosophy of mathematics. And somebody said Bertrand Russell in England, in Cambridge University. So he goes, and the next part of the story is from Bertrand Russell. A strange German came to me, and he said to me that I'm wondering whether I should be an aeronaut or a philosopher. And I said to him, why don't you write something in philosophically and show it to me? So he went back and he brought a essay written by him. I read the first line, and I said, you should not become an aeronaut. You should be a philosopher. So that was Wittgenstein. And of course, he became a very great, some people consider him the greatest philosopher of the 20th century ever. Now, I'm telling you a little known story about him, which shows the nature of his mind. One day he's coming out of the class in Cambridge University, and this lady who was his student has written this down, the memoirs. Says that Professor Wittgenstein looked at the setting sun and he said, why did ancient people, why did they think that the sun goes around the earth? Instead of the earth rotating, why did they think that the sun is rising and sun is setting, or sun is going around the earth? And I said, because Professor, that's what it seems like. It looks like that. And then he said, aha, but if it were not the case, if it were the case that the sun does not go around the earth, it's the earth which is rotating, if it were, which is true, how would it look? It would look just like this. If it is true that you are Brahman, limitless consciousness, how would you experience the world? Just like this. Just like this. Now, he sums up the whole teaching in the next line. Jnana Swarupo Bhagavan Atma Tvam Prakrite Paraha. This is what is called identity statement, Mahavakya. Akhandartha Bodhakam Vakyam. The sentence which teaches one indivisible reality. The way it is said, let me break it up. Bhagavan, God, creator, preserver, destroyer of the universe. In our example, the ocean. Atma, the self, you. In our example, the wave. And what is he saying here? You are the same. The ocean and the wave are the same. But we'll say it's not true. The wave is such a tiny little thing. The ocean is the whole, vast, including the wave also. How can they be the same? It's like saying, ocean and wave are same. Oh, water. If you see yourself as a wave, you will see ocean is so big and there are so many other waves. And I have a beginning and I have an end and I am changing. But if you see yourself as water, you will see all this wave is I alone am this wave and that wave and all the other waves. In fact, I alone am the entire ocean. And if there are no waves, I still exist. If there is no ocean, I become water vapor. Global warming. I still exist. I am still the same. I am water. So that identity has to be shifted. I'll tell you the story of the wave. I love this example. So in the ocean out there, in the Atlantic Ocean, a wave is born and it rises up in the ocean. It's a little wave. So it is sent to kindergarten. It's a German word, kindergarten, which is all over the world now. So it's sent to wave kindergarten. And it makes friends. The other little waves are there. Now some little waves are friends. Some little waves are mean to it. He has a problem with those other little waves. And so the wave grows. And then it looks around. My God, look at that wave. It's so great. I'll never be like that. Oh. Inferiority, feels inferiority complex. And that other wave is just bubble, nothing, it's a loser. I am so much greater than it. Superiority complex, contempt for somebody, or fear or intimidated by some other person, and then like some of them, dislike some of them. So the wave of samsara starts. And it's going along like this, all other waves are like that, and see something in the distance. What is that? He says, oh, that is the coastline, France. What's happening there? Oh, all the waves are dying. What? Yes, the waves go Atlantic Ocean, they go and crash against the coastline and then they die. So I am also going to die. Yes. Very soon, you'll go there. Oh my God, well that's what happens. That's the life of a wave. You're born, you play around and you come to the shore and you dash against the shore, you burst into millions of droplets and that's the end. Oh my God, this is very bad. What will happen now? Then a Vedantic wave comes along and says, it is true that waves die. Waves are born and they change and they grow and then they die. But there is something which does not die. What is that? Water. Water is not born, water does not change, and water does not die also. It just changes its form. Oh, really? That's very nice. But then what is it to me? I am a wave. No, your reality is water. You are actually water. And as water, you don't die. You are not born and you don't die also. You are immortal. Really? Where is that water? You see deep within yourself. Search deeper and deeper in that. At your center, you will find there is your water. And in front of you, there is water. Behind you, there is water. Above you, there is water. Below you, there is water. And then it begins to realize, yes, I am beginning to see what you mean by water. Very difficult for a wave to understand what is water, because it's only water all around. One philosopher, Garfield, he's a teacher of Madhyamaka Buddhism, he said, fish are the wrong people to ask about water. We are the wrong people to ask about consciousness. Because that's all we are actually. Anyway, so it begins to understand what is water. And not only that, he says that the Vedantic wave says to him that, notice, what is the difference between you and the other wave? And I am a wave, that one is another wave. But where is the gap? The gap is also water. If you are water here, you are water there, you are water there. It's the same water. Oh, I and that wave are same. Yes. Big wave and small wave are same. Yes. Bubble and foam and all are same. Yes. And water vapor in the sky is same. Yes. We are all one. I am the ocean. Yes. And you are greater than the ocean also. If you are one day you are not the ocean, you go up as water vapor in the sky, rise by evaporation. You will still be water. Ocean will go away, but you will still remain. Ah, this is wonderful. Similarly, like this, we are taught Jnana Swarupo Bhagavan Atma. The cosmos is one consciousness with Maya, which produces, sustains and destroys this cosmos. The definition of God in Vedanta. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya Karta. And there is another, the individual, you and I, small little waves. But we are the same consciousness with one body and one mind. We are this person, you are that person and that person. But we are the same consciousness. We yesterday discussed the concept of upadhi, the orange cloth near the glass and you see it looks orange. So the one colorless consciousness, the transparent consciousness, crystal-like, shining. When the body-mind comes near me, I say, I am this person, this guy. When Maya comes near me, I am God. But it's the same consciousness. Now you see, Bhagavan Atma. Bhagavan is God. Atma is the self. But both are Jnana Swarupa. Ocean, wave. But both are water. As water. Now one more clarification here. Examples are useful, but they can be misleading also. The misleading part of the example is, you might still think, yes, but in the wave, less water. In the ocean, more water is there. In me, less Brahman. In God, more Brahman is there. No less and more. Because the examples are imperfect. You can't do anything more than that. You and Brahman, you and God are exactly the same, not just same type. You are literally identically the same one limitless consciousness. There's no more or less in limitless. So, Jnana Swarupo Bhagavan Atma. When we investigate ourselves, we will find pure consciousness. And that pure consciousness with Maya is Bhagavan. So how do you start? Tvam Prakrite Paraha. You transcend Prakriti. This is the clue. You start working on what you are first. What is Prakriti? What is nature? Body is nature. Mind is nature. All that investigation which we did. I am not the body. The body is not mine. Whose is it? It is Prakriti's, nature. It is God's, whoever you call it. If you are atheistic, don't believe in God, all right, material nature has produced it. Three ways of regarding this world and the body. One is, it is nature. It is a material nature. I am the witness consciousness. That is one way of looking. That is Sankhyan way of looking at it. Or it is all a product of God. God is the creator. That's the devotee's way. The dualistic Vedanta schools, look up at that. There is the Lord who produces the world. I am a little sentient being, devotee of the Lord. So the entire universe, including body and mind, all are creations of the Lord. A product of Maya. Maya Shakti. Second way of looking at the world. A third way, it is my own appearance. Brahman alone appears as this world. It is nothing but Brahman. I alone am all of this. All three are same. What is this world? What is this body? Even the mind. One, Brahma Swarupam. It is Brahman alone, really speaking. That's too much? Alright, it's a product of Maya. Or, even that I don't believe in that sort of stuff. Alright, it's a product of nature. All three will work. In all three cases, you are not the body. You are not the mind. You are free of it while getting use of the body-mind. Remember, Uber. You have hired it. It's been given to you for a while. Okay. Tvam prakrite paraha. That I transcend Prakriti. That analysis has been done in verses 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 11. Now, a couple of words about this seamless meditation. I was just thinking, I was meditating on seamless meditation. Some beautiful points are there. I'll make 5 points and then stop. Point number 1. We need to erase the distinction, the border between practice and life. First of all, make a distinction between practice and life. Otherwise, you can't practice. If all of it is just job and family and engagement, where is the time for practice? So separately, have a separate time for practice. But ultimately, I'm saying, the goal should be the border between practice and the seam, the border between practice and life should be erased. What we are getting in practice should be in life also. The same thing. The question, people have this complaint. In the class, I understand. But outside the class, it's gone. That outside and inside the class, that border should be erased. What I find here, I should be able to find outside. That is possible with Ashtavakra. Remember, he says, what is here is there also. You find it here, you will find it there also. You have the same consciousness which is listening to a Vedanta, which is listening to Ashtavakra, and the same consciousness which is driving a car, going shopping, going out, turning up for job, waking, dreaming, sleeping. It's the same consciousness. Same station master is watching the activities in the station. So that is one. Seamless meditation means to erase the difference between practice and life. The fulfillment, joy and peace which I get in practice must pervade life. Second point, Sri Ramakrishna says the difference between closed eye meditation, open eye meditation. Second point, Sri Ramakrishna says with eyes closed God is there and with eyes open God is not there. What kind of God is it? Is this? God is there, good. Now gone. No, with what you see with eyes closed, you see with eyes open. I quoted one medieval non-dualist, Shankaracharya, yesterday. He says, Visparita lochana trayastu vedantinaha. The Vedantins, the non-dualists, are those whose all three eyes are open. 2 eyes, third eye is the eye of knowledge. This is the eye of knowledge, Ashtavakra. That is open. If only 2 eyes are open, then it's a worldly person, just like us. We see the world, we see the body, this is it. But third eye of knowledge, the Vedantic eye is open. Then while experiencing the world, experiencing life, experiencing multiplicity, you can confidently say it is non-duality. Acting in and through the body, you can confidently say I am pure consciousness. In this world, you can confidently say Aham Brahmasmi. Don't go about saying it, but you know it is a fact. So this distinction between eyes closed meditation, eyes open. Vedanta stresses the eye open meditation. Every time before food we chant Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. The context is Vedic ritualism. Fire is lit and the priests pour oblations with a wooden spoon into the fire. The fire is Brahman. The spoon with which you are pouring oblations is Brahman. The offerings you give into the fire are Brahman. The priest is Brahman. The one who sees Brahman in all actions will attain Brahman. Notice, sees Brahman in action. Not stopping action with eyes closed, with eyes open, acting in the world. You see Brahman everywhere. So eyes open meditation. Eyes closed meditation, correct? But eyes open meditation also. The Vedantins are those with all three eyes are wide open. Not looking away from life. And looking continuously at life and engaged there and troubled by that, worldly person. Closing the eyes and looking away, yogi. Opening both eyes and this eye also, eye of knowledge. Then you see Vedanta. So that is seamless meditation. Even deeper, and this I am borrowing from Sister Nivedita, her introduction to the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. She says all of these, Gita, Upanishad, they would have been there even if Vivekananda had not come. What is the unique contribution of Vivekananda? And she says, the unique contribution of Vivekananda is that the one and the many are the same reality. There henceforth no distinction between sacred and secular. To labor is to pray. To labor is to pray. To have and hold is as stern a trust as to renounce and quit. She says the school room, the shop floor, the farmyard, these are as fit a meeting place between man and God as the monk or the cellar of a monk or a temple or whatever. So in all activities can you see the divinity. And she goes further and says, our master Vivekananda had taught us that in art, science and religion are three ways of attaining the same goal. Only you need the teaching of non-dualism, Advaita, to understand that. This is an exact quote from Nivedita. This is also the philosophy of seamless meditation. Point number 3. You see, what was the first two? The first one was that practice and life, the border should be erased, ultimately. Second one was eyes open meditation, eyes closed meditation. Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, that one. Third one is the philosophy of seamless. So sacred and the secular are one. One and the many are the same reality. Two further points, just implications. One is, consider the 4 yogas. If we don't have this framework that I am Brahman, it is one Brahman, the world is an appearance, non-duality, then when you practice the 4 yogas, you will feel pulled in different directions. When I do karma yoga, I used to think like that also. I am not getting time for meditation. And when I do meditation, feeling sleepy, useless, I should have done some service. Really. In our monastery, you have to get up in the morning and 4 o'clock onwards, meditation is there. It is hot and early in the morning, mosquitoes are there and meditation is not happening. You're just sitting there and driving away mosquitoes. Better if I do some service. Then they told you go and clean the temple. For 2 months I had to clean Swami Brahmananda's temple at 4 a.m. in the morning. Scrub out all the bird droppings and sweep the courtyard in front of the temple and wipe the whole temple with wet cloth and all. And I felt this is better than my meditation. So there I'm wasting my time only. Now anyway, so in karma yoga and meditation you feel you are pulled in different directions. In your Vedantic, I am Brahman, and devotion to God in the temple or the church, you've pulled in different directions, you feel. This is one philosophy, that's another philosophy. But this one, if you have this perspective, then all of them you can put in one philosophical outlook. In Karma Yoga, what am I doing? The same Brahman shining forth in these ways. As the students whom I'm teaching in the school, as the colleagues whom I'm serving, and the customers I'm serving in the office, as the patients whom I'm taking care of in the hospital, or the clients whom you are attending to in your business, or the people in the home, all of it is Karma Yoga, all of it is I'm serving Brahman in all these ways. The same reality. Devotion. Swami Turiyananda says, Swami Vivekananda, when he said I, it meant the whole of it. I am Brahman. But it does not come so easily to us. Who is saying this? Swami Turiyananda, the great Vedantin. He says it does not come so easily to us. So we say thou, you. That is same Advaitic approach, but there you accept temporarily a dividing line and say, I am this guy, same consciousness. And here is the cosmic consciousness. I am a wave, here is the ocean. I know we are both water. Now wave can worship the ocean. Then, and then the last point, implication I want to make is the other approaches to spiritual life. Dualistic approach. Qualified monastic approach. See them all as limiting cases of this non-dualism. For a time being, accept a division, and then you will see the truth of those approaches also. I'll leave it as homework assignment. How dualistic approach, qualified monastic approach, the approaches, the worldview in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, in Buddhism, all of them can more or less be fitted into this scheme as limiting cases within this non-dual framework. So these are all consequences of seamless meditation. All right. Good. On that hopeful note, Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you so much. Thank you.